Hello, my name is Mitro, I'm from Integris, and today I'm going to show you how Logic Builder no-code configuring helps to move files from the Documents module of the Sugar CRM to the Sharepoint portal folder, and to keep those files moved safe by setting up access restrictions to those files on the basis of the Teams role security module set in Sugar CRM for the documents. So firstly, let's discuss how restrictions could be set in a SharePoint. So I will go to my SharePoint test site, and here I have a documents folder, which also have a subfolder which is called Sugar CRM documents. That is the subfolder to which we'll put all the documents from the Sugar CRM. If we go to the subfolder, we'll have here the number of folders, which names would be the names, the ID of the document in Sugar CRM, and this folder will contain the file. So what we would need here in the SharePoint is to set up restrictions for the particular folder and the file in that folder, so that only users that belongs to the team in the Sugar CRM have particular access to this folder and the files in this folder. So I click here, manage access, and in this interface I can set up the access to the folder. So by default, all the folders, they inherit the access permissions from the parent folders. So in case I like to set up the specific permissions for this documents one folder, I have to stop inheriting permissions for the folder first. Okay, so now my folder has unique permissions, and then I have to add here users, granting them permissions to this folder. So if to do that via the SharePoint interface, I click on the grant permissions, then I specify the user, and in show options, let me explain a little bit these permission levels. Actually, the ones you see now are out of the box, so they are regular. Okay, so here is the explanation about those permissions. For my case, I would like to restrict the access of the users, of the SharePoint users, to the files moved from the Sugar CRM, providing them access only to read files, or even to view the files with no possibility to download these files. So there are two roles that are of my interest: the read and restricted view. In order to make this permission set automatically with the configuring, I have to map those permissions that are given to the particular users in the SharePoint to the corresponding users in Sugar CRM. So firstly, I will relate the users of the SharePoint to the users from the Sugar CRM on the basis of the email. So the email address of the Sugar CRM user should match to the email of the corresponding user in the SharePoint. And then I added in Sugar CRM a field to the user profile, and with a multi-select field that provides me with the ability to pre-configure what are those permissions should be provided in the SharePoint in case this user is a member of the team and the team is set to the particular document. So in case I have a document with a particular team and the user is in that team, as soon as the document is moved to the SharePoint, this user will be granted with the corresponding access to the document moved to the that moved to the SharePoint. So for my case, I set up two teams in Sugar CRM, Team West and Team East. And for each team, I set up there are two users in the Teams West, and for each of that user, I set up in the user profiles the kind of access they should have to the documents in the SharePoint. So for Anastasia, I set restricted view access. It means that she will be able just to view the documents via the SharePoint interface, but with no possibility to download those documents. And for Hannah, I set up the read access to the documents. So it means that she can read documents, she can download documents, but you cannot edit those documents. And for the team East, I set up a member with two types of permissions: edit permission and contribute permission, so that this user could manage the document in the SharePoint. If you go to the Sugar CRM, to the Documents module, and let's create two documents here. First is West Doc, and select some file here. Okay, it could be this one, some file. And set the team here, West team. Okay, and save it. So now we have a file uploaded to Sugar CRM, and also create another one. Yes, doc. And another file, for example, this video. This team. So now we have two documents in the CRM, okay, and we are going to move those documents to the SharePoint. So if you switch to the SharePoint, to the folder Sugar CRM Documents, so we are going to have these documents here. So if you go back to the Sugar CRM and select the file, and set the checkbox in SharePoint and click Save. Okay, the file is removed from the CRM, and here is in the description the link to the folder. If we go to the SharePoint, you see there is new folder has been created. The name of that folder is equal to the ID of the document. If you go to that folder, you see there is a file here which is moved from the Sugar CRM to the SharePoint. Clicking onto this link will lead us to the same folder. Okay, and now let's check what are the permissions to this folder. So we know this document belongs to the West team, so it means that let's check who has access to this folder and correspondingly to that file. Manage access. Okay. Okay, as you can see, Hannah has got read access to this folder, and Anastasia has got restricted view access. Let's move the file EastDoc to the SharePoint folder. So the EastDoc belongs to the esteem, and let's set the checkbox in SharePoint, save it. Okay, now we have the link to the folder here. Let's click on that link. Okay, so this folder, let's check the restriction, the permission to that folder. Okay, so we can see that since Zlatislava is in the East team and she's the only member of that team, and according to the profile, she has to have access permission levels edit and contribute in case she's in a team and the file belongs to the team. You can see this this is automatically set for the corresponding folder in the SharePoint. This configuring is performed with the Logic Builder tool, and it fires as soon as the document is saved and SharePoint checkbox is set. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me to the email or drop me a line in the chat. Thank you and have a nice day.